Good morning, children. Today we'll learn about computer memory. You know, a memory is the storage or the storage where data is fed into. Data can be saved into a storage device. Okay, let's see about what we're going to learn about the computer memory. I'll share a screen with you. Yes, children, this is your first chapter, computer memory. So you can see I put a picture of all the memory devices. That is, this is your hard disk, this is your pen drive, and this is your floppy disk, this is your RAM, your ROM, your CDs, and your CPU, in which you have this hard disk that is there. So in this chapter, we are going to learn about, say, the storage devices in the computer, memory unit, how is it measured, the primary memory. There are two types of memory, primary memory and what is the secondary memory. And in the secondary memory, what are the devices that come under the secondary memory? Let's start first with this storage data in the computer. Yeah, as I've told you already that inside the computer, there are different storage areas. So where the data is stored, one is permanent area and the other is a temporary area. So where the information is stored, this area is called the memory. So in the computer, we have two types of memory. They are the primary memory. Actually, in the computer, you have two types of memory, that is RAM and ROM. But on the whole, we have two types of memory, that is the primary memory and the secondary memory. So we have two types of memories, the primary memory and the secondary memory. Let me show you a flow chart of it. See here, this is a computer memory. The computer memory has a primary memory and a secondary memory. What is a primary memory? The memory that is in the computer. That memory is divided into two types. These two types are called as RAM, random access memory, ROM, read-only memory. So here I've made a flow chart. Primary memory has two parts or two types of memory, random access memory and read-only memory. So this is how it is. Actually, it starts this way: computer memory, primary memory and secondary memory. When you learn about the primary memory, under the primary comes the RAM, random access memory and the ROM. So first let's learn about the primary memory. What is a primary memory and what are the types of memory that you find in the primary memory? Okay, here is correct flow chart: memory, primary memory, secondary memory. Under the primary memory, it is RAM and ROM. Under secondary memory, it's called the hard disk, the floppy disk, CD and DVDs. All these are called as the secondary memory. Yes, as I told you, the computer memory, they are represented as zeros and ones. They have two digits, that is zeros and ones. So if anything is feeding into the computer, it is fed with the numbers zeros and ones. 0 and 1 are nothing but binary digits. And in the computer language, they're called as bits. So the computer memory is represented by two digits, that is zeros and ones. They're called as binary. Zeros and ones are binary digits. In the computer language, it's called as bits. So what does this digits represent? Every character in the memory, they have 8 binary digits. That is, if you take A, the alphabet A has 8 binary digits. And this 8 bits are equivalent to a byte. 8 bits is equivalent to a byte. So instead of saying 8 bits calculating it, they call it a byte. So one character is 1 byte. So here you have a memory table. This is memory table just up to terabytes. That's basic. So 1 bit is equivalent to 1 bit is calculated as zeros and ones, as I told you a bit is zeros and ones. They're called as binary digits. 1 nibble is equivalent to 4 bits. 1 byte is equivalent to 8 bits. I told you every character is 8 bits equivalent to 1 bytes. 1 kilobyte is equivalent to 1024 bytes. 1 megabyte, megabyte is equivalent to 1024 kilobytes. 1 gigabyte is equivalent to 1. So it is this way. So 1024 megabytes is equal to 1 gigabyte. 1024 gigabytes is equal to 1 terabyte. So when you read it, zeros and 1 is equivalent to 1 byte. 4 bits make 1 nibble. 8 bits make 1 byte. 1024 bytes make 1 kilobyte. 1024 kilobytes make a megabyte. 1024 megabytes make a gigabyte. 1024 gigabytes make a terabyte. Here the table, we have it till the terabytes. After that you have little more exceeded, that is the petabyte, then the exabyte, the zettabyte, the yottabyte, brontobyte, gigabyte. That is the highest right now in the memory. Such high storage systems are basically used in the supercomputers, which has high memory and high speed. So did you understand the memory unit table? Yes, as I told you, the primary memory consists of two parts, that is the RAM and the ROM. But what is primary? Primary memory is the main memory that is in the computer. And where is this? It is in the CPU. So that's the hard disk. So the CPU can read and write on this memory. The CPU can read and write on this memory. And where is the memory? It is fixed in the motherboard of the computer. So the primary memory is a main memory, and the CPU can read and write on this memory. And where is this memory? It is in the motherboard. The primary memory has two memories, RAM and ROM. RAM is random access memory, ROM is read-only memory. Here's a picture of the RAM. This is how it looks. The random access memory is a temporary memory. Any information that you write in this on the system and you switch it off, all the memory is lost, because right now the thing that you have just typed will be in RAM. So once the memory is stored, will be erased once the power supply or the power supply of the computer is switched off. So you can say that RAM is volatile. It is a temporary memory and it can be erased. Volatile can be erased. Next memory is ROM, that is read-only memory. Read-only memory is a permanent memory. Any memory that is stored in the computer, that is like all your booting, the startup system of your computer, these all are permanent memory. That is when you feed in the program, it gets into this read-only memory. So read-only memory is a permanent memory. The stored memory is not erased even when the system is switched off. And what are the things that it is holding? The start instruction, that is all the system booting is done. So ROM cannot be overwritten. Even if you want to change any programs, you actually cannot change the program because it's a built-in program by the computer user. So the computer user cannot make any changes. So permanent memory is basically the memory that is stored in the computer and does not get erased. Even if the system is switched off, this is basically the start instructions of the computer. When you start the computer, it starts, showing you that you're going into Windows 8 or Windows 10, and then it opens. This is called the booting of the computer. It starts accessing all the softwares that are fed into the computer so that you can use them. So I think you understood what is RAM. It's temporary memory, but ROM is a permanent memory. This is a picture of the RAM and this is a picture of the ROM. Now here, this is a secondary memory. Secondary memory, they are like external memories where you can carry it anywhere and you can put it into any device and see. And secondary memory is also a permanent storage devices. So any memory, anything that you store in this memory will not get erased. It will be in the memory. Only when you say delete or erase it, it gets erased. So it is non-volatile memory. Memory cannot just get lost. It will not get lost even if you remove the secondary memory. You can see some of the secondary memory storages. This is a flash, this is a floppy disk, and then this is zip disk, CD writer, read and write, CD read and write, your DVD, some tapes. This is again like a floppy disk. This is your pen drive removable, micro drive, and these are some of the latest ones. You also have another thing which is um, online storage. You have cloud storage. You don't have to have any memory in your system, or you don't have to buy a separate external hard disk or use a pen drive. You can store all these things on a cloud storage. When you go to higher classes, you'll be learning about cloud storage or cloud computing. So these are your secondary devices. They are permanent, non-volatile, and some of them are the floppy disk, hard disk, and you are using also the pen drives. You have optical disk, you have compact disk, that's your CD. So all these Blu-rays, all these are your secondary memory storage. And you always use a pen drive, so you know that's a secondary storage. Here is an explanation of the secondary storage. Basically, in the beginning, we used to use this floppy disk. This floppy disk is also a permanent storage, and it helps in transferring data from one computer to another. They come in different sizes. And the size of this commonly used floppy disk is 3.5 inches. And the storage capacity is 1.44 megabytes. That maybe you can save around 200 or to 300 pages in this of notes or information in this floppy disk. It's a small space, but it's quite fast. Then you have the hard disk. This hard disk is basically fixed inside the computer box. And this hard disk, it will have storage capacity of 4 GB to 4 terabytes. So you find it inside the computer. This is how the hard disk looks. Better to learn the inner part of the hard disk. How is it working? You see the hard disk has a number of metallic disks. You can see small disks here. These are called the metallic disk. The name for it is called as platters. The metallic disks are called as platters. Can you see these metallic disks inside? Yes. And then these metallic discs or these platters have concentric circles. Even when you see a CD, you have those circles. This circles helps to record information. Also, when these circles are recorded on each concentric circle, this is called as a track. These concentric circles are called as track. So what I said, the metallic discs are called as platters. These concentric circles are called as tracks. These tracks again are divided into segments. The segments are called as sectors. You can call them as sectors, like this, one sector. So because of this division on this platter or this surface, it helps you to store everything in an organized way, and you can use the maximum storage space because of this tracks and the sectors that are being divided. They are separate sectors for separate things. And all the whole memory can be used without wasting it. Did you understand what is a hard disk? So the hard disk is a storage device which is in the CPU. It has a capacity of 4 GB to 4 terabytes, gigabytes to 4 terabytes. Inside this hard disk, you have a metallic disk, many metallic disks, a number of metallic disks, which are called as platters. On these platters, you have concentric circles for recording any information. These concentric circles are called as tracks. And this surface are divided, that's the platter surface, is divided into different segments. They are called as sectors. And this division, which is on the platter, it helps to record and store data in an organized way, such that it helps you to use the maximum storage space. Clear, children? You have the other device, which is a compact disc or the CD. This CD is a round plastic disc. It is used for writing and reading. So read and write system it is. It has a storage capacity of 700 MB. Actually, the compact disc, it is read and write. And you can have in this CD, you can store pictures, text, sound, music. So a CD capacity is 700. Storage capacity is 700 MB. It's a thin round plastic disc. The same, it has tracks on this, like here, it's like the platter. It's same read and write system. Under the CD, you have different types of CDs. Let's see what is a CD-ROM. This only just I told you what is a CD. CD is for such it is used for such facilities. Let's see what's a CD-ROM. CD-ROM means compact disc read-only memory. When the word read-only memory comes, you should know that any data or any information that is recorded in the CD, it is being done at the time of manufacturing. So you can only read, that is see anything on this CD. You cannot do any recording, fresh recording on the CD. So it is an already recorded CD that is sold in the market. Okay, so this is the meaning of compact disc read-only memory. The next one is CDR, compact disc recordable. Here you can write anything on the CD. And once that is, you can record anything on the CD. But once you have recorded, you cannot erase it, neither can you rewrite on the CD. That's called as compatible disk recorder. You can only just record. So let's read it. Data can be written on this CDR only once, and you can read it whenever you require. You can open the CD and see it 100 times you want. But data, once it's written, cannot be erased. Neither can you make a new picture on it. So once the thing is done, you can see it till the CD is okay, till without it, the scratches coming on it, you can see it that many times. Did you understand the difference between ROM and recordable? ROM, you cannot write anything, you can just read it because it's already manufactured before it came to you. All the things are being fed into this disk before it came to you. The CD writer is an empty disk where you can only write once. You can, whenever required, you can see, but you cannot erase it. And again, the CDR-W was developed. CDR is the compact disk, read and write. Here what you can do, you can use the CDR to write information over and over again. You can erase, write on it again, erase and write on it again. So if you have any information already written on this disk, you can erase it and write new information using the CD writer. There's a software called the CD writer. The CD writer allows you to rewrite on the disk again. Did you understand the difference between these three compatible disks? Let's go to the next one. Under the CD disk also you have other types of disk, which is called a DVD. DVD means digital versatile disk. This disk is an optical disk. It does work like reading data, which is very fast. And on this disk, it has a single layer. DVD, first we had only single layer side, and one single layer of the DVD side stored 4.7 GB gigabytes. That is 6 times more than your CD. CD is only 700 MB, whereas a DVD is 4.7 GB, which is only one side. That is one single layer, that is one side can store 4.7 GB. Later on, we had both the sides where we could use. So the DVD became a double-sided storage system. And we could save around 17.0 GB gigabytes of information in this CD. That is 25 times more than a compact disc. Later on, the Blu-ray was developed. It was developed somewhere in 2000, in between 2000 and 2006. This is an optical data disc, and it has a storage capacity of 25 gigabytes to 50 gigabytes, and the quality of storing is very high. It has high sound quality and high movie, that is picture quality is very high in this DVD. That's why when you're in the Blu-ray, when you see the Blu-ray pictures, they have all high definition. And here it's very safe to use, because this disc is scratch resistible. It's a scratch resistible disc, and so it's better to save things on a Blu-ray. So let's read the Blu-ray. It's a high definition optical disc, and the storage capacity is 25 GB to 50 GB. It is having high quality of sound in the movie, that's picture. It's very safe to use this type of storage because it's scratch resistible. You have next the pen drive, which is also called as a flash drive. This is a portable electronic storage device. You can connect it, you can remove it, you can connect to the computer, and you can remove it from the computer. The place that you connect it is called the USB port, or it's called the Universal Serial Bus Port. You can see here I've put a picture of the USB. This is where you can slot, this is a slot where you can insert the pen drive. It's called the USB port. So you can store data in the USB, you can erase the data in the USB, and its storage capacity varies from 1 GB to 128 GB. Clear? This pen drive is also called as flash drive. It's a portable electronic storage device. It can be connected and removed from the computer. It has to be connected into a port called the Universal Serial Bus Port. And data stored in this can be erased and rewritten again. You can erase and write and keep on adding how much data you want. The storage capacity is 1 GB to 128 GB. Okay, that's the end of your computer memory. Now this is your homework, children. This chapter 1, computer memory. You complete the homework, the worksheets of all the bits. It's given on page numbers 6, 7, and 8 in your computer reader. Some bits you can complete in the computer reader, but bit 4 is question and answer. So answer all the questions in your computer notebook. Okay, children. Thank you for now. Have a nice day and complete your homework. Meet you in the next class.